अनि यसमा पानी चाहिँदैन अलिकति दुई चार पिस त्यो बत्ती बलिराख्नु भनौँ न प्रभुलाई दिव्यश्याम प्रभु
जगनिष्ठ कीर्तन
दिव्यश्याम प्रभु बोला है कि नहीं, किधर है वो? लाइट भी ऑन कर दीजिए, वहाँ फेस्टिवल में लाइट ऑफ अच्छा नहीं करता। कृष्णा और तो लाइट जला तो वो नहीं, वो कोने का होता है। नहीं है अरे ठीक, अच्छा किया प्रभु। यू रेडी? ओके। ओम नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। हैप्पी लॉर्ड नृसिंहदेव जयंती। We are just starting puja. Before that we just do some ritual, and our parampara is just remembering our Guru parampara, and same time our Radha Krishna and all of them. And then we do the Kalash Puja, Sadhipid Shraddha and other things. And then we go to the actual puja for Lord Nrsimhadev, and then we start Havan. And after that we offer the 108 times the Ugramiram Mahavishnu. And then we offer some flower to the Lord. 108 name of the Lord Nrsimhadev. Different names is there. One of the names is that. Okay. Om Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sa Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितां च ओम अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति सोपदान्तिकम्। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धांत स्वामिनीति नामिने श्री वात्सवानवे देयी द्वैताय कृताब्दये कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्य उज्ज्वल प्रेमाढ्य श्री रूपानुगभक्तिद श्री गौर करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुग विरोधाप सिद्धांत अपसिद्धांत धारिणे। नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बं रसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजायते नमः। नमो भक्ति विनोदाय सच्चिदानंदनामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवरायते गौराविर्भाव भूमेस्तौ निर्दिष्ट सज्जन प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथायते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः। नित्यानन्दम् अहं वन्दे कर्णेलम्बितकुण्डलं चैतन्याग्रज रूपेण पवित्रीकृतभूतलम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगदपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जयताओ सुरतोर पंगुर मम मंद मतेरगति मत्सर्वसु पदम भोजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ दिव्याद्बिंदारण्यकल्प दुर्मत श्रीमद रत्नगार सिंहासनहतौ श्रीमद राधा शिल गोविंद देवौ प्रेष्ठालिवेश विमानं स्मरामि। श्रीमन्रासरसारंभी वंशी भट तटास्थितः कार्सन वेणुर्सुरन गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रेयस्तुनः। श्री जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। यं ब्रह्म वेदांत विदो वदन्ति परे प्रधानं पुरुषं तथान्ये विशुद्धगते कारणं सर्वा तस्मै नमो विघ्न विनाशनाय। ओम तद्विष्णु परमं पदं सदा पश्यन्ति सूरया दिवसा चराच विद्युत जागृते विष्णु यद परमं पदम्। ओम कृष्णो वै सच्चिदानंद कृष्णादिपुरुषं कृष्ण पुरुषोत्तम हाउ कृष्ण हाउ कर्मादिमूलं कृष्ण स सर्वकार्य कृष्ण का संकृषादि सब मुख प्रभुज्यं कृष्णो नादस्ना जानतं बाण्यं यन्मलं मंगलं तत् लभते कृतिः। हरि ओम पुनन्तु मां देवजनानुत्तमकार्या पुनन्तु विष्णुतानि जातवेदा पुनीहिमाम्। ओम आशत्रि नृसिंहवनं करणम् ओम पुण्याहं भवन्तु ब्रुवन्तु ओम पुण्याहं पुण्याहं पुण्याहं। हरि ओम उद्गाते वसकुने सामगायसि ब्रह्मपुत्र सर्वनशे संसचि ब्रिजवाणी विज शिशुमरावित्या सर्वतो दिश समुने भद्रमा वद विश्वतो न सकुम्य पुण्यमा वदः। ओम अस्य श्री नरसिंहवन कर्मणं स्वस्ति भवन्तु ब्रह्म आयुष्मते स्वस्ति स्वस्ति स्वस्ति। ओम स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धसभः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति न तारस्यो अरिष्टनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु। अस्य श्री नरसिंहवन कर्मणं ओम रिद्धि भवन्तु ब्रह्म रिद्धेताम् ओम रिद्धेताम् ओम रिद्धेताम्। ओम हृदयामस भाजन मंत्रम श्रथेहोपयेतं यशो न पकम मजो भूसरंतारा भूतां स्वस्मिनो काममाप्र। ओम स्वस्ति नो गोविंदो स्वस्ति नो अच्युतानंतो स्वस्ति नो वासुदेवो विष्णुर्ददातु स्वस्ति नो नारायणो नरो वै स्वस्ति नो पद्मनाभ पुरुषोत्तमो ददातु स्वस्ति नो विक्षसेनो विश्वेश्वरो स्वस्ति नो ऋषिकेशो हरिर्ददातु स्वस्ति नो वैनतेयो हरिः स्वस्ति नो अंजनो सुतः हनुर्भगवतो ददातु स्वस्ति स्वस्ति सुमंगलकेशो महान् श्रीकृष्ण सच्चिदानंद घन सर्वेश्वरो सूरे ददातु इति स्वस्तिवाचनम्। वासुदेव अर्चनम्। ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय या गच्छय तिष्ठ लक्ष्मी नरसिंह बोल देखाउनु सबै मुद्रा देखाउनु ओम क्लीं लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमः श्री कृष्ण या गच्छय तिष्ठ यशनिधे यशनिधस्य यशन्मुखो भव क्लीं हृदयाय नमः गोविन्दाय शिखाय वचन गोविजन कवचाय बल्लभाय नित्राय वचन स्वाश्रय फट इयमिति कुरु य परमे कुरु ईश पुष्पांजलि फूल चढ़ाउने त इदम आसनम ओम स्वागतम बोलाउनु स्वागतम सुस्वागतम स्वागतम एतद पाद्यम पाद्यम इदम आर्घ्यम समर्पयामि ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमः आचमनीयं समर्पयामि ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमः मधुपर्कं समर्पयामि ओम मधुपर्कमिदम आचमनीयं समर्पयामि इदं स्नानीयम् ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमः इदं वस्त्रं लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमः इदं आवराणि ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमः ईशगन्ध ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमः सुगंध पुष्पं समर्पयामि ईशधूपं दीपं नैवेद्यम् ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहाय नमो नमः ओम सर्वे अबू तो काला या गच्छयत ओम सर्वे समुद्राचार्य या गच्छय तिष्ठ यशनिधेय सन्निधि सन्मुखो भव क्लीं हृदयाय नमः श्री कृष्ण शिष्य गोविन्दाय शिखाय वचन गोविजन कवचाय बल्लभाय नित्राय स्वाश्रय फट इयमिति कुरु य परमे कुरु यते गणपति ओम गुरवे नमः ओम इस्कॉन प्रत्यक्षाचार्य शिल प्रभुपादाय नमः ओम परम गुरवे नमः ओम परंपरा गुरवे नमः ओम परमेष्टि गुरवे नमो नमः ओम सर्वेभ्यो महंत गुरुभ्यो नमः ओम सर्वे सब वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः एतावरी बोला ओम भिक्षसेनानि पंचमहाभारत या गच्छय तिष्ठ या सन्निधेय सन्दिरस्य य सम्मुखो भव क्लीं हृदयाय नमः श्रीकृष्ण शिष्य गोविन्दाय शिखाय वचन गोविजन कवचाय बल्लभाय स्वाश्रय फट इयमिति कुरु य परमे कुरु यते गणपति ओम भिक्षसेनाय नमः ओम सनकाय नमः ओम सनातनाय नमः ओम सनंदनाय नमः ओम सनत कुमाराय नमः अब नवयोगेन्द्र ओम नवयुगेन्द्राय कबेदादि नवयुगेन्द्राय या गच्छय तिष्ठ य सन्निधेय सन्दिरस्य ओम य सन्मुखो भव क्लीं क्लीं कृष्णाय नमः ओम क्लीं हृदयाय नमः श्रीकृष्ण शिशुरा गोविन्दाय शिखाय वचन गोविजन कवचाय बल्लभाय नित्राय स्वाश्रय भट्ट ये मध्य कुरु यव परमे कुरु ओम यते गम से ओम कवये नमः हवये नमः अंतरिक्षाय नमः प्रबुद्धाय नमः पिपलाय नमः आवितराय नमः धूम्रिलाय नमः चमसाय नमः ओम करभाजनाय नमो नमः नारदादि 10 दिक्पाल ओम नारदादि दिक्पालगणाय सर्वे दिक्पालय या गच्छय तिष्ठ य सन्निधि य सन्निधि य सन्मुखो भव सन्मुखो भव क्लीं हृदयाय नमः श्रीकृष्ण शिष्य गोविन्दाय शिखाय वचन गोविजन कवचाय बल्लभाय नित्राय स्वाश्राय फट् इहमिति कुरु य परमे कुरु नारदाय नमः कपिलाय नमः एम भागवताय नमः एम भागवताय नमः भीष्मदेवाय नमः शुकदेवाय नमः जनकाय नमः सदाशिवाय नमः प्रह्लादाय नमः ब्रह्मणे नमः बलिदानाय नमः स्वयंभुवाय नमः ओम पौर्णमास्यादि सर्वसत्या या गच्छय तिष्ठ सत्या या गच्छय तिष्ठ य सन्देय सन्दिरस्य सम्मुखो भव क्लीं हृदयाय नमः श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्दाय शिखाय वचन गोविजन कवचाय बल्लभाय नित्राय स्वाश्राय फट् इयमिति कुरु य परमे कुरु यते गणपति ओम पौर्णमास्याय नमः ओम पद्माय नमः ओम अंतरंगाय नमः ओम गंगाय नमः ओम यमुनाय नमः ओम चंद्राय नमः चंद्रावते नमः गायत्री नमः तुलसी नमः सरस्वती नमः ओम पृथिव्यै नमो नमः पृथिव्यै नमः वैष्णवगवे नमः यशोदाय नमः देवहूत्यै नमः चन्दन चढ़ाएर ओम देवहूत्यै नमः रोहिण्याय नमः सीताय नमः द्रौपदी नमः कुन्त्यै नमः रुक्मिण्यै नमः ओम श्रीरामादि सर्वे गोपालगणा या गच्छय तिष्ठ यस निधेय संदुरसय क्लीं हृदयान सुखन सुख गोविंदाय शिखाय वचन गोपीजन कवचाय वल्लभाय नित्राय स्वाश्राय भट्ट इति इहामिति गुरु या परामे गुरु यते ओम श्रीदाम्ने नमः सुदाम्ने नमः तोतकृष्णाय नमः लवंगाय नमः अर्जुनाय नमः वसुदेवाय नमः ओम विशालाय नमः सुबलाय नमः श्रीरामाय नमः श्रीकृष्णाय नमो नमः। कृष्ण का साथी त्यहीँ गर्ने है त। ओम कृष्ण ललितादि सर्वसख्याय गच्छय तिष्ठ यस निधेय सन्दुरसय सन्मुख बाबा क्लीं हृदयाय नमः श्रीकृष्ण श्री गोविंदाय शिखाय गोपीचरण कवचाय वल्लभाय नित्राय स्वाश्राय फट् इहमिति गुरुय परमे गुरुयते ओम ललिताय नमः ओम श्यामलाय नमः ओम विशाखाय नमः ओम चंपलताय नमः ओम सुचित्राय नमः ओम तुंगविद्याय नमः ओम इंदुलेखाय नमः ओम रंगदेव्ये नमः ओम सुदेव्ये नमः। अब धूप दीप ब्राह्मणसमखम् आसीत् बाहुराजन्यकृतौ ऋतत् वैश्वं गुंसूत्रो अजायत पदनां गुंसूत्रो अजायत एष धूपं समर्पयामि ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेवाय नमो नमः। ओम सर्वे समुद्र आचार्य संप्रदायाचार्यगणानां सर्वे गोपालगणानां सर्वे नारदादि विशेषणादि पंचमहावताय नमः नारदादि सर्वे गोपालगणेभ्यो नमः सर्वेभ्यो गोपालगणेभ्यो सागरा सखेभ्यो नमो नमः। राधा कृष्ण सब ओम चंद्रमा मनसो जातो तच्च सूर्यो अजायत मुखा इंद्राज निचर्पण वायुराजायत एष दीपं दर्शयामि ओम लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेवाय नमो नमः। नमस्ते क्लीं नरसिंहदेवाय नमो नमः। सर्वे गुरु परंपरा इदम् आरतिकं समर्पयामि। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। अपन्नाय च ध्यानाय च उदनाय च समनाय स्वाहा। अभ्यासिदन्तरिशेषद प्रभां गुंसूत्रो अजायतः इदं महाप्रसादं निर्मलादिकम् ॐ यं गुरवे नमः ॐ महाप्रसाद निर्मलादिकं सर्वे महन्तगुरुभ्यो नमः ॐ इदं महाप्रसाद निर्मलादिकं सर्वेभ्यो महाभागवत्यो नमो नमः हरि ॐ रेखे त्वं पृथिवीरूपा पितवासि ॐ रेखे त्वं गोरूपालोहितवासि ॐ रेखे त्वं कालिंदी रूपा कृष्ण वर्णसी ॐ रेखे त्वं सुवर्ण रूपा श्री रूपा सुवर्ण वर्णसी ॐ रेखे त्वं सरस्वती रूपा सुवर्णसी ॐ निरस्तपुरा वसु ॐ
Even you just split it or we can put the Rudram there. Yeah. No, only two. Radha Madhava. Radha Madhava, you can like closer little bit. Om Krabhyada Agni Prani Hote Duram Yamaraja Gathaturi Swaha Om Bhuru Bhuva Swaha Om Santi Pushti Namagana Namahiya Gatsaya Tista Om Agnidevataya Namo Namaha Idam Padyamargamatmanim Panchamritam Sudatasanam Samarpayami Om Krishnanandamugudam Madhavam Hare Hare Govinda Bhavasumuga Sri Gopijana Ballava Braja Surida Bhakta Priyocataha Bhakta Prema Vasakriya Palarashananda Dinati Hitam Radha Kanda Duradan Samtida Tekai Jivesada Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Param Sada Pansinda Surya Divishida Sada Viprando Zakriman Samite Vishnu Yada Paramam Padam Om Vishnave Namo Namo Om Agnidutam Purada Deva Sadaisam पानी बाहर खान ओम इवयुरितम जातविदो देवः व्यासवदु प्रजानम ओम साधु भमास्ते ओम साधयत्म ओम अच्छस्य ओम गोविंद 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 हरि ओम ओम गोविंद 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 ओम तत्सत् अद्य वैशाखमासे शुक्लपक्षे चतुर्दशी तिथौ अस्य श्री नरसिंह होम कर्माणि कृतकृतवेषप्रवृत्तदान ब्रह्मत्वेन ब्रेण भवन्तं वृणीभृता स्म ओम वृतोस्मि यथा ओम यथा इथं ब्रह्मकार्य कुरुम् अल्गिर्युवालिन्द्र यथा इथं ब्रह्मकार्य कुरुम् ओम यथा ज्ञानं कर्वाणो निरतपरासरतु ओम ओम आवसो सदने ओम सिदामि ओम विष्णु विचक्रम तेदानि त्रिपुरसुसुत्र ओम ओम इदं विष्णु चर्म तेदादशं भारतदशं ओम इदं भुजपादसु मंगलं सप्रत्नां बादचतिदं दधनम् अग्निसम्मुखीकरणम् एषोः देवजो सरतजात गर्भे सौदा सहं इव जातजनिष्यमाणं प्रत्यङ्गि सर्वतोमुखम् ओम इवं तोमाति जातवेथे यथावीवं संशय मनीषायां भद्रां हि प्रकृतसज सद्यम् अंगे सखे मारिषावं तय ओम भरारोमं गृहाविष्टं चिन्तयं प्रगप्रवाणं भयं जिगिते परात्रं साधय धियो अग्ने सखे मारिषं भयं तव ओम सखेवं तं समिद सारया सिदय देवय तदतोत्यं तोमातित्यं तत्सान्निसम कृष्णसिमतवम् ओम एते ओम चंद्रामाम सोजाति मोदानितणवायुरजायतः गोपकुमार को ओम चंद्रमा मनसो जात तत्सूर्यो जायत मोघात इंद्राज अनित प्रणवैरात एक पुरुषाय नमो ओम विष्णवे नमः लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेवाय नमः तो पाँच को देना अग्नि को लगे ओम इदं नयुदं प्राणाय अपना ज्ञानोदनाय समनाय धनाभ्यास फलं फूलं मिठानं समर्पयामि ओम अग्निदेवताय नमो नमः हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम ओम पूर्वास्यं नारदाय स्वाहा ओम आग्नेय कपिलदेवताय स्वाहा ओम यम भागवताय स्वाहा ओम निरितिम निरित विष्णुदेवाय स्वाहा। ओम प्राचित्यम ओम श्री सुखदेवाय स्वाहा। ओम वायव्य ओम श्री जनकाय स्वाहा। ओम उदित्याम ओम सदाशिवाय स्वाहा। ओम यशान्याम प्रहलादाय स्वाहा। ओम पूर्वे ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा। ओम अदबली महाराजाय स्वाहा। ठीक, हवन लग्न पवित्र वैष्णव पवित्र विष्णु प्रसन्न देवसो चौदना अक्षित पवित्र वर्ष सूर्य रश्मि भी। ठीक, अभी दुईटा सुरोलाई ओम तत् विष्णु परम परम सदा पश्चित सूर्य दिशा सुरातम ओम अनंत वस्तु महालक्ष्मम ओम अनंतामन्योभ्यम ओम असुतामन्योभ्यम ओम इदम सरस्वत्यमन्यवस्त्रम ओम प्रभो अनिरुद्रम प्रसुभ यज्ञ थोरे यज्ञ प्रसुभम यज्ञ प्रतिभगाय पाता सर्वे पुतस्त केतुप केतम न पुनाद भाग्यशो वाचम स्व ददातु। अब फूल हरि ओम भूर्भुसो महांत विवाच तोम आत्मने प्रपद्ये भागवत विवाच संयम प्रणय ग्रहवांतरिक्ष विवितम निरनमय देवतानां जाने यस्यं कुंभे अथ सन्निहितानि तानि तानि सन्निहितानि तानि बलभृच बालसाच रक्षोद प्रणामी असित तत् सत्य यते द्वादश पुत्राति तुम संवत्सरे संवत्सरे काम प्रणयंजन यजतम पुनर्ब्रह्म च उपयान्तु तुम देवेषु ब्राह्मणसु अहम मनुष्येषु ब्राह्मणो वै ब्रह्म उपधावति उपतोम धावति च पंतम मामा प्रतिजापति जुहन्तुम मामा प्रतिहौसि कुर्वन्ति मामा प्रतिकर्षति तुम प्रपद्ये त्वयं प्रसुतय इदं काम करिष्यामि तन्मेरातितं तन्मे समृतं तन्मे उपस्थितं समुद्रो वा विश्वव्यास ब्रह्मानुजानातो तथो वा विश्वदेवा ब्राह्मणा पुत्रो अनुजानातो शत्रो वा प्रचिता मैत्रा वरुणो अनुजानातो तस्मै विद्वाच दन्ताजायन्ते समुद्रया विश्वोच्चसे तुथाय विश्ववेदसे श्रोत्राय प्रत्यतसे सहस्राय ब्राह्मणपुत्राय परम भागवत उत्तमाय नमः। ओम तपस् तेजस् श्रद्धा च ह्रीं च सत्यं च अक्रोध च त्याग च धृति च धर्म च सत्वं च वाक् च मन च आत्मा च ब्रह्मा च तानि प्रपद्ये तानि भवन्तु। ओम नृसिंहाय नमः। पहले गुरु परंपरा को करनी हम जाना। ओम अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञान ओम अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः स्वाहा। ओम श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति सोपदान्तिकं स्वाहा। Just you remember your guru and then Swaha. Okay? स्वाहा। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे स्वाहा। नमः ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धांत सरस्वती इति नामिने नमः श्री वार्षदानवे दयिताय कृताय कृष्ण संबंध विज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुरोज्ज्वल प्रेमाटे श्री रूपानुगभक्त श्री गौर करुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्ते तारिणे रूपानुगविगताप सिद्धांत द्वंतहारिणे स्वाहा। नमो गौर किशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्बं रसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः स्वाहा। नमो भक्त विनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौर शक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगवराय ते स्वाहा। गौराविर्भव भूमेस्तौ निर्देश सजना प्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः स्वाहा। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः स्वाहा। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे नमः स्वाहा। नित्यानन्दम् अहं वन्दे कर्णे लम्बितकुण्डलं चैतन्याग्रज रूपेण पवित्रीकृतभूतलं स्वाहा। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्तुते स्वाहा। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये स्वाहा चैतो सुरतोरुपङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वसपदं बोधौ राधा मदनमोहनौ स्वाहा विद्याधन्दरण्यकल्पदुर्मद श्रीमद्रत्नगार सिंहासनतो श्रीमद् राधाचलगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्टालवे च विमानस्मरामि स्वाहा श्रीमन्रासरसारम्भि वंशीभट तदर्थित कर्षण वेणुस्वर्णै गोपी गोपीनाथ श्री अर्जुन स्वाहा जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द स्वाहा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे स्वाहा Now we are going to do 108 times of the Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Nishma Mahamantra, and then after we do, if time allow, and we do 108 times Lord Nishmadev name, taking name, and just offering some flowers, Pujari for the flowers. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham Nirsimham Vishanam Bhadram Ritum Namameham Swaha. Om Ugram Viram Mahavishnu Jwalantam Sarvatomukham नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विषणं भद्रं मृत्युमृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा ॐ उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा उग्रं वीरं महाविष्णुं ज्वलन्तं सर्वतोमुखं नृसिंहं विष्णुं भद्रं मृत्युं नमाम्यहं स्वाहा नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। एक से 8 क्या बन रहा है? You don't have to count maybe. No need. I
108 names of the Lord Nrsimhadev. Just carefully hear and we will purify. Definitely Lord Nrsimhadev will help us. Om Nrsimhaye Namah Swaha, Narasimhaye Swaha, Om Mahansimhaye Swaha, Om Divyasimhaye Swaha, Om Mahabalaye Swaha, Om Ugrasimhaye Swaha, Om Mahadevaye Swaha, Om Istambaye Swaha, Om Ugralocanaye Namah Swaha, Om Raudraye Namah Swaha, Om Sarvabhutaye Namah Swaha, Om Srimate Namah Swaha, Om Yoganandaye Namah Swaha, Om Trivikramaye Namah Swaha, Om Hare Namah Swaha, Om Kolahalaye Namah Swaha, Om Chakrine Namah Swaha, Om Bijaye Namah Swaha, Om Jayavardhanaye Namah Swaha, Om Panchananaye Namah Swaha, Om Parabrahmane Namah Swaha, Om Agaraye Namah Swaha, Om Ghoravikramaye Namah Swaha, Om Jwalanmukhaye Namah Swaha, Om Jwalamaline Namah Swaha, Om Mahajwalaye Namah Swaha, Om Mahaprabhave Namah Swaha, Om Nitilachaye Namah Swaha, Om Sahasrachaye Namah Swaha, Om Durinithyaye Namah Swaha, Om Pratapanaye Namah Swaha, Om Mahadrashta Yudhaye Namah Swaha, Om Pragyaye Namah Swaha, Om Chandakopine Namah Swaha, Om Sadashivaye Namah Swaha, Om Hiranyakashipi Dhomsine Namah Swaha, Om Daityadana Vandanaye Namah Swaha, Om Gunabhadraye Namah Swaha, Om Mahabhadraye Namah Swaha, Om Balabhadraye Namah Swaha, Om Subhadrakaye Namah Swaha, Om Karalaye Namah Swaha, Om Vikaralaye Namah Swaha, Om Vikatre Namah Swaha, Om Sarvakritakaye Namah Swaha, Om Sri Sumaraye Namah Swaha, Om Trilokatmane Namah Swaha, Om Isaye Namah Swaha, Om Sarveshwaraye Namah Swaha, Om Vibhave Namah Swaha, Om Bhairavadambaraye Namah Swaha, Om Divyaye Namah Swaha, Om Achutaye Namah Swaha, Om Kavimadavaye Namah Swaha, Om Adochejaye Namah Swaha, Om Acheraye Namah Swaha, Om Saravaye Namah Swaha, Om Vanamaline Namah Swaha, Om Varapradaye Namah Swaha, Om Vishwambharaye Namah Swaha, Om Adbhutaye Namah Swaha, Om Bhavvaye Namah Swaha, Om Vishnave Namah Swaha, Om Purushottamanaye Namah Swaha, Om Anaghastraye Namah Swaha, Om Nakhastraye Namah Swaha, Om Surya Jyotise Namah Swaha, Om Suryeshwaraye Namah Swaha, Om Sahasrabhave Namah Swaha, Om Sarvayajnaye Namah Swaha, Om Sarvasiddhipradakaye Namah Swaha, Om Brajadrashtaye Namah Swaha, Om Vajranakhaye Namah Swaha, Om Mahanandaye Namah Swaha, Om Param Tapaye Namah Swaha, Om Sarvayantrakaye Rupaye Namah Swaha, Om Sarvayantra Vidaranaye Namah Swaha, Om Sarvatantrat Katmanaye Kaye Swaha Namah Swaha, Om Abhaktaye Namah Swaha, Om Subhiktaye Namah Swaha, Om Bhakta Vasalaye Namah Swaha, Om Vaisakha Shukla Bhutothaye Namah Swaha, Om Saranagata Vasalaye Namah Swaha, Om Udara Kirtaye Namah Swaha, Om Punyatmane Namah Swaha, Om Mahatmane Namah Swaha, Om Chandavikramaye Namah Swaha, Om Vedatraye Prabhujaye Namah Swaha, Om Bhagavate Namah Swaha, Om Parmeshwara Namah Swaha, Om Sri Vatsankaye Namah Swaha, Om Sri Nivasaye Namah Swaha, Om Jagadvyapine Namah Swaha, Om Jaganmayaye Namah Swaha, Om Jagadpalaye Namah Swaha, Om Jagannathaye Namah Swaha, Om Mahakalaye Namah Swaha, Om Dhirupa Bhute Namah Swaha, Om Paramatmane Namah Swaha, Om Paramjyotise Namah Swaha, Om Nirgunaye Namah Swaha, Om Nikesarine Namah Swaha, Om Paratattvaye Namah Swaha, Om Paramdhamne Namah Swaha, Om Sachidananda Vigrahe Namah Swaha, Om Lakshmi Nrsimhaye Namah Swaha, Om Sarvatmane Namah Swaha, Om Sri Dharaye Namah Swaha, Om Sri Prahlad Palakaye Namah Swaha. Nrsimhadev Bhagavan ki jai.
Now go through the all our Krishna Sakha, Navayogendra, whatever the relation with the Lord Krishna, we going to that. Vidu Nama Agne Namaya Gacha, carry down. Om Vidu Nama Agne Namaya Gacha, Yatista Yavat Budagan Tavatam. Yasanidaya Sandhusaya Sanmukova. Om Vishnu Tasat Tasad Addeha Vaisakha Mase Sukla Bhagje Chatudashi Tithi Sri Narsimha Havana Karamanam Yatkinidam Vaikuljat Tattasa Prasanana Sri Krishna Ismana Purvakam Satyana Homam Aham Kurbiye Vidu Nama Agne Namaya Gacha Yatishta. Okay. Now go. Om Bhuswahayam Vishnavedam Namama Bhuvaswayam Achyutayam Suswayam Suryayam Suswayam Naranayam Nama Om Bhurvuswayam Anantayam Namama. Just all the sponsor and other devotees they just can hear the name of holy name of the Lord and his associates, and that's purify us. Okay, just Om Krishna Vai Sajanana Krishna Adi Purusham Krishna Purusham Krishna Havakarma Dimulam Krishna Sarvagari Krishna Krishna Mukam Prabhujam Krishna Radhasana Ajandam Barnem Yen Mangalam Tadabhikri Om Klim Krishna Swaha Om Payino Achutananda Hinase Swaha Yadam Vishnave Nama Payino Vishishe Vedase Om Vishnave Nama Swa Payino Hare Viva Swaha Yadam Vishnave Yadam Namama Om Sarvapaya Sri Pataye Swaha Idam Vishnavedam Nama Om Pahino Anantaye Kaya Payo Ditya Payo Jam Ditya Payo Garidhitya Vishnu Swaha Idam Vishnavedam Nama Punar Roja Nivasanam Punar Vishnu Iya Yukam Punar Payasam Kum Swaha Idam Vishnavedam Nama Om Saharaya Nivato Vishnu Piva Sudharaya Vishwa Sanyatapi Vishwato Pariswaha Idam Vishnavedam Yagyata Kriyato Mito Vishnu Tad Kapetum Devetam Yatha Kalpayatvam Hi Beta Yatha Tadam Swaha Idam Vishnave Idam Namama Om Prajapate Vishnu Tu Nanyo Tyunyanyo Vishwajanati Paridabhabuta Yada Kamase Jastu Masta Astu No Vayam Sama Pato Rainam Swaha Idam Vishnave Idam Namama. These all mantra glorify the Lord and his associates, and at the same time he is glorifying the Yajna Purusha. You are the soul of all the living entities, like that, all of them, like. And then if we are doing unknowingly, knowingly some harsh, sinful activities, please forgive us. After seeing this yajna, fire, this what is the flame of the yajna, we will not vanquish out those sins. It's all talking about those things. Translation is there. Now, Surup Om Bhuswayam Vishnave Nama Om Bhuvaswayam Achyutayam Namama Om Suswayam Naranayam Namama Om Bhurvuswayam Anantayam Nama. Om Viksheswanaye Swaha Idam Viksheswanaye Nama Om Sanakaye Swaha Om Sanatanaye Swaha. Everybody can say Swaha, okay? Om Sanananaye Swaha Om Sanatkumaraye Swaha Om Kavaye Swaha Om Havaye Swaha. ओम अंतरिक्षाय स्वाहा, ओम प्रबुद्धाय स्वाहा, ओम पिप्पलनाय स्वाहा, ओम आविर्होत्राय स्वाहा, ओम द्रुमिलाय स्वाहा, ओम चमसाय स्वाहा, ओम करवादनाय स्वाहा, तस्मा भागवत ओम नारदाय स्वाहा, ओम कपिलाय स्वाहा, ओम एव भागवताय स्वाहा, ओम विष्णुदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम सुखदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम जनकाय स्वाहा, ओम सदाशिवाय स्वाहा, ओम प्रहलादाय स्वाहा, ओम ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा, ओम बलि महाराजाय स्वाहा, ओम स्वयंभुवाय स्वाहा, ओम गरुडाय स्वाहा, ओम हनुमते स्वाहा, ओम अम्बरीशाय स्वाहा, ओम व्यासदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम उद्धवाय स्वाहा, ओम युधिष्ठिराय स्वाहा, ओम भीमा स्वाहा, ओम अर्जुनाय स्वाहा, ओम नकुलाय स्वाहा, ओम सहदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम विदुराय स्वाहा, ओम विश्वदाताय स्वाहा, ओम विभीषणाय स्वाहा। कृष्ण ओम श्री कृष्ण चैतन्याय स्वाहा, इदं गौरायदम ओम श्री नित्यानंदाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री अद्वैताय स्वाहा, ओम पंडित गदाधरादिभ्य स्वाहा, ओम श्री वासादिभ्य स्वाहा, ओम श्री रूपाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री सनातनाय स्वाहा, ओम भट्टरघुनाथाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री जीवाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री गोपाल भट्टाय स्वाहा, ओम दासरघुनाथाय स्वाहा, ओम दीक्षा गुरवे स्वाहा, ओम शिक्षा गुरवे स्वाहा, ओम गुरुभ्य स्वाहा, ओम श्री नवद्वीप धामने स्वाहा, ओम श्री मायापुर युग पीठाय स्वाहा। कृष्ण का प्रेयसी ओम अंतरंगाय स्वाहा, ओम पौर्णमासे स्वाहा, ओम पद्मे स्वाहा, ओम महालक्ष्म्याय स्वाहा, ओम गंगाय स्वाहा, ओम यमुनाय स्वाहा, ओम सरस्वती स्वाहा, ओम गोप्ये स्वाहा, ओम वृंदावनाय स्वाहा, ओम गायत्री स्वाहा, ओम तुलसी स्वाहा, ओम पृथिव्यै स्वाहा, ओम गवे स्वाहा, ओम यशोदाय स्वाहा, ओम देवहूते स्वाहा, ओम देवके स्वाहा, ओम रोहिण्ये स्वाहा, ओम सीताय स्वाहा, ओम द्रौपदी स्वाहा, ओम कुंते स्वाहा, ओम रुक्मिण्ये स्वाहा, ओम सत्यभामाय स्वाहा, ओम जाम्बवते स्वाहा, ओम नागणजिते स्वाहा, ओम लक्ष्मणाय स्वाहा, ओम कालिंदे स्वाहा, ओम भद्राय स्वाहा, ओम मित्रविंदाय स्वाहा, ओम कृष्ण सखा, ओम श्रीदामने स्वाहा, ओम सुदामने स्वाहा, ओम स्तोत्रकृष्णाय स्वाहा, ओम लमंगाय स्वाहा, ओम अर्जुनाय स्वाहा, ओम वसुदामने स्वाहा, ओम विशालाय स्वाहा, ओम सुबेलाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री रामाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री रामाय स्वाहा, ओम क्लीं कृष्णाय स्वाहा, ओम नर्मसखेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम प्रिय नर्मसखेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम सहचर्येभ्य स्वाहा, ओम सर्वे गोपालगणेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम नंदाय स्वाहा, ओम उपनंदाय स्वाहा, ओम सुनंदाय स्वाहा, ओम महानंदाय स्वाहा, ओम शुभानंदाय स्वाहा, ओम प्राणानंदाय स्वाहा, ओम सदानंदाय स्वाहा, ओम गुरवे स्वाहा, ओम सर्वेभ्यो महंत गुरुभ्यो स्वाहा, ओम श्री चैत्य गुरवे स्वाहा, ओम श्री वासवानवी कार्तिक गांधर्विका कार्तिका देवी श्री कृष्ण प्रिय सर्वेश्वरी क्लीं श्रीं वृंदावन सेवाधिकार प्रदे श्रीं ह्रीं तुभ्यं श्री राधिकाय स्वाहा। इदं राधिकाय नमः। ओम कृष्णो वैश्यजानन कृष्णादि पुरुषं कृष्ण पुरुषोत्तम कृष्ण हाउ कर्मादिमूलं कृष्णस्य सर्वकार्य कृष्ण कासां कृष्णादिजं मुखं प्रभुपूज्यं कृष्णो दानात् अस्तिम अस्मिन् जानत अंत बाह्ययन् मंगले तद्लभते कृते। ओम क्लीं कृष्णाय स्वाहा। इदं कृष्णाय नमः। ओम ललिताय स्वाहा, ओम श्यामलाय स्वाहा, ओम विशाखाय स्वाहा, ओम चंपकलताय स्वाहा, ओम इंदुलेखाय स्वाहा, ओम सुदेव्यै स्वाहा, ओम रंगदेव्यै स्वाहा, ओम सुचित्राय स्वाहा, ओम तुंगविद्याय स्वाहा, ओम कुंडलताय स्वाहा, ओम धनाय स्वाहा, ओम मंगलाय स्वाहा, ओम पद्माय स्वाहा, ओम शैव्याय स्वाहा, ओम भद्राय स्वाहा, ओम चित्रबलाय स्वाहा, ओम पाल्यै स्वाहा, ओम ताराय स्वाहा, ओम कुंजकालिकाय स्वाहा, ओम निकुंजकालिकाय स्वाहा, ओम सुखकालिकाय स्वाहा, ओम रसकालिकाय स्वाहा, ओम प्रमोदाय स्वाहा, ओम धनिष्ठाय स्वाहा, ओम तुलस्यै स्वाहा, ओम रमाय स्वाहा, ओम रम्यै स्वाहा, ओम बिंबवत्यै स्वाहा, ओम रसदाय स्वाहा, ओम रसदाय स्वाहा, ओम आनंददाय स्वाहा, ओम कलावते स्वाहा, ओम रूपमंजरे स्वाहा, ओम आनंदमंजरे स्वाहा, ओम रसमंजरे स्वाहा, ओम लवंगमंजरे स्वाहा, ओम कस्तूरी मंजरे स्वाहा, ओम गुड़मंजरे स्वाहा, ओम रतिमंजरे स्वाहा, ओम कपूरमंजरे स्वाहा, ओम सर्वा सखीभ्य स्वाहा, ओम सर्वा सहचरीभ्य स्वाहा, ओम सर्वा संगिनीभ्य स्वाहा, ओम सर्वा रंगिनीभ्य स्वाहा, ओम वृषभानुभ्य स्वाहा, ओम वृषभानुगणेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम कृतिदाय स्वाहा, ओम सर्वे काष्णेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम सर्वे वैष्णवेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम सर्वा वैष्णवेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम श्री नारायणाय स्वाहा, ओम कारब्दसायिने स्वाहा, ओम गर्वदकसायिने स्वाहा, ओम क्षीरोदकसायिने स्वाहा, ओम वैकुंठधामने स्वाहा, ओम वासुदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम संकर्षणाय स्वाहा, ओम प्रद्युम्नाय स्वाहा, ओम अनिरुद्धाय स्वाहा, ओम गोलोकधामने स्वाहा, ओम मथुराधामने स्वाहा. 2 times. So there is some. Okay. ओम गोलोक धामने स्वाहा, ओम मथुरा धामने स्वाहा, ओम द्वारका धामने स्वाहा, ओम मत्स्याय स्वाहा, ओम कुर्माय स्वाहा, ओम वराहाय स्वाहा, ओम नृसिंहाय स्वाहा, ओम वामनाय स्वाहा, ओम संकर्षण रामाय स्वाहा, ओम रघुनाथ रामाय स्वाहा, ओम जामदग्नि रामाय स्वाहा, ओम बुद्धाय स्वाहा, ओम कल्किने स्वाहा, ओम सर्वेभ्यो गुणावतारेभ्यो स्वाहा, ओम सर्वेभ्यो मन्मना अवतारेभ्यो स्वाहा, ओम हंसाय स्वाहा, ओम यज्ञाय स्वाहा, ओम तत्रत्राय स्वाहा, ओम पृथवे स्वाहा, ओम धन्वंतराय स्वाहा, ओम मोहिन्ये स्वाहा, ओम विराजे स्वाहा, सत्ययोगावतार शुक्लमूर्तये स्वाहा, ओम त्रेतायुगावतार रक्तमूर्तये स्वाहा, ओम द्वापर युगावतार कृष्णमूर्तये स्वाहा, कलि युगावतार पीतमूर्तये स्वाहा, ओम श्री वृंदावन धामने स्वाहा, ओम श्री वृंदावन धाम, ओम वृंदावनाय स्वाहा, ओम द्वादश वनेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम द्वात्रिंशत् उपवनेभ्य स्वाहा, ओम श्री श्री राधा गोविंद हरे स्वाहा, ओम राधा माधव हरे स्वाहा, ओम श्रीनाथजी गोपालाय स्वाहा, ओम गौरांग नित्यानंदाय स्वाहा, ओम श्री तुलसी शालिग्रामाय स्वाहा, ओम नृसिंहदेवाय स्वाहा, ओम गिरिराजाय स्वाहा, सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमानाय स्वाहा, जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्राय स्वाहा, ओम श्रीं क्लीं ओम श्रील प्रभुपादाय स्वाहा, ओम श्रीं क्लीं स्थावर भ्रज स्थावरम जंगम सपरिकर श्री श्री राधा कृष्णाभ्यं स्वाहा. इदं राधा कृष्णाभ्यं नृसिंहदेव भगवान की जय. ओम प्रभो अनिरुद्रं प्रशुभ यज्ञं प्रशुभं यज्ञपति भगाय पाता सर्वपद केतुपकेतं पुनतु मास भागेशो वाचं सोदरा सोदतु स्वाहा. हाथ में जल. ओम अनंतं अन्नवस्तं ओम अच्युतं अन्वमस्थां. ओम सरस्वते अन्वमं स्थाः आरिक्तम् अलिकति. ओम अतं निहाणं वयतु वयम्. ओम भू वैष्णवानाम् अधिपतये. ॐ भो वैष्णानाम् अधिपतय विष्णो रुद्रस्य चतिरो धञ्चितचरो वृषः पशूनाम् अस्माकं मां हिसिं यदतो सुतहुतं तव स्वाहा। लास्ट आरती गरेर पहिला पूर्ण आरती गरेर खड़े हो जाइए प्लीज, स्टैंड अप एंड उसको वहाँ डालना है, बट लेटर ऑन जस्ट पुट हो लिटिल बिट, पुट इन द लिटिल बिट एंड लेटर ऑन विल पुट मोर। हाँ थोड़ा डालना है, बाद में और करेंगे। अंदर फसल डालना सुपारी, सुपारी और केरा लेंगे ये सुपारी से अब कल जाना हो कोही कोहीलाई बाँध्न पर्ने पुऱ्याउनु पर्छ। तपाईँ केरा र केरा लिँदैन, केरा झुमा लगा यो हात रामकृष्ण प्रभु, कैन गेट सम सुपारी? हाँ, जो स्पॉन्सर करें यहाँ थोड़ा थोड़ा सुपारी ले लीजिए। बिकॉज ऑफ द बनाना वी कैन नॉट पुट लॉट्स ऑफ बनाना ऑन द फायर बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव बिग फायर, स्मॉल फायर I don't have much. नहीं थोड़ा वहाँ डाल देना है, यही सुपारी डालना, बाद में हम डालेंगे सब, ठीक है? Just after this. ओम हरि ओम ओम पूर्ण होमय सचे विष्णवे ज्योमि योसमय विष्णवे ज्योति स बरसा समय ददाति विष्णु वरम विष्णु यशसा भामि लोके स्वाहा। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna, thank you all for sponsoring and taking part in the
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare।
We're just collecting all the samagri in the plate here so that the yajna keeps going.
There are some.
Any more?
Something? You want to say something or?
No. This
Okay.
is just for the samagri.
Yeah. Namaste Narasimhaya. Hiranyakasde Purvachah, Hiranyakasde Purvachah, Shilakanka Khalai, Shilakanka To Narsimha Parato Narsimha, To Narsimha Parato Narsimha, Yato Yato Yami Tato Nirsimha, Yato Yato Yami ततो नृसिंहा बाहेर नृसिंहो हृदये नृसिंहो बाहेर नृसिंह हृदये नृसिंह नृसिंह आदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये नृसिंह आदिं शरणं प्रपद्ये तव कर कमल बरे नाथा अद्भुत सिंहां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनु भृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे तव कर कमल बरे नागा अद्भुत श्रृंगार दलिता हिरण्यकशिपो तनु भृङ्गा केशवधृता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव नरसिंहदेव जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौरा हरि बोल नरसिंहदेव भगवान की भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल Hare Krishna. Can you sit for a minute and then we can do the Shanti Jal and then do Arati again. Can you help or mix this word? Colors of water on there. Everyone. हाँ इसमें किसी में डालो चम्मच से भी निकाल सकते हैं ओम भूर्भुवसो कया नचित्र आबुदति कया सचा सदा सृष्टया सदकया सचिदापिता भूर्भुवसो कत्सो नमः सत्यो मदानं निष्ठो मदसदसा निदान चित्रचवसोम भूर्भुवसोम आविष्वण सकारितं त्रिणाम सततं भूयासे सुनम रूपामादि बनाकर जो 5 सेकंड है ओम स्वस्ति नो गोविंदो स्वस्ति नो अच्युतानंदो स्वस्ति नो वासुदेव विष्णु ददाते स्वस्ति नो नारायणो नरो वै स्वस्ति नो पद्मनाभ पुरुषोत्तमो ददातु स्वस्ति नो विशिष्यनो स्वस्ति नो ऋषिकेशो हरिर्ददातु स्वस्ति नो वैनतेयो स्वस्ति नो अंजनो सुतो हनुर्भगवतो ददातु स्वस्ति स्वस्ति सुमलकसमान श्रीकृष्ण सज्जनागण सर्वेश्वरे सोरो ददातु ये जल सब कुछ तो जल पढिरहनु तपाईँ सबैले साथ दिनु पर्छ सबैलाई हैन अनि यो गर्नु ओम हरि ओम द्यौ शान्ति अन्तरिक्ष गुम शान्ति पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोगदय शान्तिर्विश्वदेवाः शान्तिः ब्रह्मः शान्तिर्वायुः शान्ति तेजः शान्तिरोगदय शान्तिर्लोकः शान्ति ब्रह्मणा शान्तिर्वैष्णवा शान्ति शान्तिरस्तु धीतिरस्तु ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ओम हरि ओम अस्मिन् श्री नरसिंह हवन कर्मणि ओम अंगहीनं क्रियाहीनं विधिहीनं च यद्भद् अस्तु सर्वणम् अस्तु तद् सर्वम् अच्छिद्रं श्रीकृष्ण कार्षणं प्रसादतः ओम तसतसदादि कृतस्मिन् श्री नरसिंह हवन कर्मणि राधाकृष्ण मंदिरे इह भूमिः कर्मणि ओम तद यत् किंचित् वैदिकं जात तद सप्रसमानं श्रीकृष्ण ईश्वरं करोमि ओम हरि ओम पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यत्पजं मया देव परिपूर्ण तदवसुते व्यक्तत्वं मातृमात्र पत्रपुष्पं फलं दलं आवेयन्त निमित्तं तदग्रहणा तत्सप्रसमानं श्रीकृष्णं विष्णुं करोमि ओम ओम क्लीं कृष्णाय नमो नमः लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की सब भक्तगण की जय समस्त प्राणी मात्र की जय Just we wishing for everyone, Lord Nrsimhadev protect them and give them good knowledge to become a devotee. Everybody and who is devotee increase their devotional service. Just we pray for that and please Lord Nrsimhadev, please bless all of us. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, so we are almost Aarti time. So we'll be attending the Aarti now because we have a class at 7 o'clock. I hope you all had a chance to circumambulate 3 times for the yagya, and there's going to be tilak applied now. Please accept the blessings of Lord Nrsimhadev. Thank you so much for your support and participating in the yagya today. It's very nicely done. Thank you so much, Divesham Prabhu and Damodar Prabhu for performing it so nicely. Also appreciate help of Gopakumar Prabhu and Ramakrishna Prabhu. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Bukannya sih, banyak.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
श्री श्री राधा माधव हरि भगवान की जय, श्री श्री राधा गोविंदे भगवान की जय, श्रीनाथ गोपाल की जय, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे, निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात देशतारिणे। जानवी तटबनी जगमन लोभा, जानवी तटबनी जगमन लोभा, ताईता नामे गदाधर, निकटे अद्वैत श्री वास छत्रधर,
Krishna
छत्रधारा
गीताते अर्पिता श्री दास छत्रधारा
हे बसे আছে গৌরাচান রত্ন সিংহাসনে
বসি আছে গৌরচান রত্ন সিংহাসনে
শিবা বসে আছে গৌরাচান রত্ন সিংহাসনে
বসি আছে গৌরচান রত্ন সিংহাসনে
आरती करे न ब्रह्मा आदि देवताने
आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवताने
आरती करे न ब्रह्मा आदि देवताने
आरती करे ना ब्रह्मा आदि देवताने
शिवनरा हरि आदि कोरि चामर डुलाया
हरि आदि कोरि हमारा दुलारा
शिवनरा आदि कोरि चामर डुलाया संजय मुकुंद वासु घोष विदाया संजय मुकुंद वासु घोष विदाया तेरा शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल शिव शंखा बाजे शंखा बाजे बाजे करताल माधुरा मृदंग बाजे तारा मरसाला माधुरा मृदंग बाजे तारा मरसाला शिव बहु कोटि चंद्र जिने वदन उज्ज्वला शिव बहु कोटि चंद्र जिने वदन उज्ज्वला माला तोरे झलमाला
देशे माला तोरे जलमाला
शिव शिवा सुख नारद प्रेम गदा
शिव शिवा सुख नारदा प्रेमे गदा
शिव शिवा सुख नारद प्रेमे गदा
शिव शिवा सुख नारदा प्रेमे गदा
भक्ति विनोद देखे दोरार संपाद
भक्ति विनोदा देखे गोरा
भक्ति विनोद देखे दोरार संपाद जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम
श्री राधा
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचा श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री श्री राधा माधव हरि की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोविंद देव की जय। श्री नाथ गोपाल की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय भगवान की जय। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान की जय। नरसिंहदेव प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। शिव प्रभुपाद की जय। पतितपावन श्री गुरुदेव की जय। समस्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि हरि बोल। जय जय श्री राधे श्याम।
वो छोटे को तो ऐसे पहले से तैयारी करो। दोनों आ जाओ।
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय।
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय।
शिवता नरसिम्हा भगवान की, भगवान महाराज की, शिला प्रभुपाद की, गौर प्रेमानंद।
Hare Krishna, everyone. Can you hear me? I've got an echo here. Happy Narasimha Chaturdashi. Before I start the announcements and introduce the speaker, can you please move forward? There's a lot of space in the front, and as you know, latecomers come, they can join comfortably. There's a lot of space. There's a lot of space in the front. Please come as far forward as you can. Kindly, please come as far forward as you can. Please come as far forward as you can. Thank you so much. If we need more cushions and things, we have some. Parthasarthi Prabhu, can we get some cushions on the sides? Ramakrishna Prabhu, some cushions in the back. Anyway, so once again, happy Narasimha Chaturdashi to everybody, and I'd like to thank all the participants of the Narasimha Yagya, and a big thank you to Divisham Prabhu and Damodar Prabhu for performing such a nice Yagya. Please give them a big round of applause. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Bindu Mataji. She single-handedly brought all these offerings for Lord Narasimha Dev. Please give her a big round of applause. Because it was a weekday, we did not advertise, but Krishna has magic for us every single time. So I'm so happy for the miracle. Today we had so many offerings. Thank you, Bindu Mataji, so much. And Brajalila. Obviously, without Brajalila, this would not happen with Mataji. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your seva. So we have His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. We had a class yesterday. Prabhu's here for 2 days, and he's leaving tomorrow morning, a very, very short time. Hopefully he can make more time for us next time. Please. I hope Prabhu takes this seriously, and we can get more of his association next visit. I know that I have to pull the right strings. There's Ishwara Gauranga Prabhu and Shriji Priya Mataji who are hosting them. So make sure that Prabhu gets our message loud and clear. More time with Phoenix devotees. Prabhu does not really need an introduction, but a quick introduction. I know that Ishwara Gauranga does a very good job. So Prabhu is a senior disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami, and he's based in Mumbai. He was the first person who had put out the Gita Daily blog, and it's still continuing. And he also answers questions, and all the questions that you asked during classes are also recorded on the spiritual spiritualscientist.com. And that's full of a lot of information. So if you ever need any information, you just simply go to that website, and you'll be surprised how much valuable and so much important information is there. Prabhu has very practical, suggestions for us as well from the Shastras. As you can see, he's very young, and he really relates the scriptures to our present-day life. So, if you go to those sites, you'll connect very easily with him. And he's also authored a lot of books. I gather the number now is 44. So you can imagine, he travels a lot. He goes to about 100 cities through the year and gives many, many classes, in corporations and other places, other institutions. And he still has time to write books. So my hat's off to him. I don't know how he does it, but Prabhu, keep it up. Really nice. Thank you so much. And today's class is going to be about Narasimha Leela, Lord Narasimha's appearance day. And as we all know, Shri Krishna advented himself as Lord Narasimha Dev to save 5-year-old son Prahlad. And so he demonstrated in a very dramatic way. We saw the drama on Sunday, how he appeared and demonstrated that child abuse is not acceptable. And so protecting children, is such an important duty for everyone. And the Narasimha Chaturdashi gives us an opportunity to prioritize the protection of children in the family and our community. And I'm just going to read one sentence from purport of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1, Canto 1, chapter 8, verse number 5. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, "The protection of children gives the human form of life its best chance to prepare the way of liberty from material bondage." So I'm sure Prabhu will have a few words to say. I will not take any more time. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjalishalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. On this very auspicious day of Narasimha Chaturdashi, let's begin with a prayer which Prahlad offers to Narasimha Dev. It's very elaborate prayers. Let's begin with one of the simpler prayers. So in the second set of prayers that the Lord is offered, this is the concluding prayer. So, Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahatmane Haraye Adbhuta Simhaya Brahmane Paramatmane. I'll explain the meaning and then we'll recite it again. Om Namo. Om is an invocation. I offer my obeisances. Bhagavate, unto that Supreme Lord, Tubhyam, unto you. So, what is the characteristics of this Lord? Purushaya Mahatmane. He's the person. But what kind of person? He's the great person, the greatest person. Haraye Adbhuta Simhaya. He is the same Lord Hari. The word Hari has many different meanings, which we will discuss in the course of the class. Adbhuta Simhaya. He has come in the form of a divine lion. And he is that same all-pervading effulgence that exists all over the universe, Brahmani. And he's also the Lord who exists inside the heart as the Paramatma. Basically, while beholding Narasimha Dev, Prahlad is offering this as the last prayer in which he is summarizing his understanding of the position of the Lord whom he is beholding. So let's recite this. It's a simple prayer. Let's recite it together. Not responsively, but together. We'll do it 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahatmane Hare Adbhuta Simhaya Brahmane Paramatmane. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahatmane Hare Adbhuta Simhaya Brahmane Paramatmane. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Purushaya Mahatmane Hare Adbhuta Simhaya Brahmane Paramatmane. So I'll use this as a whiteboard for writing and drawing a few things. And let's begin today, since it's auspicious day, let's try to begin with a meditation, a thought experiment, where right now while we are sitting here, our minds have remarkable capacities to visualize and to imagine. So let's try to visualize, if we went on a journey, not just a physical journey, but on a journey through time, to thousands and millions of years ago. And there, we, from an aerial view, as if in a time machine, we are beholding a majestic city. And as we zoom in, we come to the biggest palace in that city. And in that palace, we come to the court. And the court is in full assembly. And as we come closer, we see that there's a huge throne on which a powerful king is sitting. And along the side, there are various ministers and generals who are sitting. And while initially the majesty of the sight strikes us, but as we come closer, we see that everyone's expression is extremely grave. Everybody seems to be on the verge of an explosion. It's as if a big fight is going to happen, and the tension before the fight is palpable in the atmosphere. And yet, we look around, there is no enemy about to attack anyone. What is the cause of the tension? The king who is sitting on the throne is looking so furious. The brows are furrowed, the veins are standing, they are bulging from the face and the neck, the fists are clenched, the teeth are gritting, and the king seems to be about to explode. But there is all this anger, and yet there seems to be no enemy against which to direct the anger. And then as we zoom in closer, we notice that everybody's attention is centered on one small boy. And this boy is standing in front of the throne, looking at the king. The boy is so small and tender and innocent and sweet looking that we naturally wonder, what could this boy have done that could have caused such anger in everyone? It seems that all the hostile energy which would normally be triggered when some formidable enemy is coming, it's all directed toward this tiny boy. And then as we observe, there's a conversation going on. And this small boy is being asked a question. And this question, sometimes some people are completely oblivious to the mood around them. Like say, some people come in a very cheerful, jolly mood, and maybe they come to a place where they got news that somebody in the family has got a heart attack, somebody has died, and this person is making a joke. Such a person is socially completely clueless. So this child is socially clueless and doesn't seem to be aware of the tension at all. So the king asks him, on the basis of whose strength are you challenging me? When I raise my eyebrows, even the greatest of gods tremble in fear. And yet, you have the audacity to challenge me, to disobey me, on the basis of whose power are you doing this? The king sees that this kid is no match to him, and yet the kid is more than a match to him. So naturally the question, from where is he come? And then this small child's answer seems to further emphasize either how clueless or how reckless this child is. It's generally when someone is angry, the intelligent thing to do is to pacify that person. But the child's answer is designed 100% to enrage the kid, it seems. The child says that Na kevalam me bhavatascha rajan. He says, it's not just my power, it's even your power. And even the person who has given you your power, all power comes from the one source, from that supreme source. And it is that source whom I am worshipping. There is the saying of an iron fist in a velvet glove. Somebody's manner is very gentle, but they are eating. So it's like, but here is the case of a sweet voice and infuriating words. Is this child deliberately trying to get into trouble? And he has no fear of his own life. Why is he speaking like this? So this is the situation. This is the dramatic high point. The climax is about to happen. And when this climax is about to happen, in this particular story, we see that there are four main characters. There is Prahlad, there is Hiranyakashipu, there are the Devatas, and there is Narsimhadev. So, we will try to see the dynamics of the interactions between these four characters. So, the interaction between Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu, the interaction between Prahlad and Narsimhadev, the interaction between Narsimhadev and the Devatas, the interaction between Prahlad and the Devatas, the interaction with Hiranyakashipu and the Devata, and the interaction with Hiranyakashipu and Narsimhadev. So if all this interaction is confusing, don't worry. I'll make it even more confusing. But generally, we can just look at events. Oh, this person did this and this person did this. But some people are a little more socially intelligent. Like when you enter into a room, you can see a lot of people are sitting here. But you enter into a room and see, okay, this person is sitting in this corner and this person is sitting in this corner. And both people are acting as if the other person doesn't exist. That means there is some tension between the two people. So some people have their social intelligence. So underlying the incidents are the dynamics of the interactions. So we'll try to look at the dynamics of these interactions. So right now, we are focusing on Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. So relationships, even between two people, don't exist in isolation. So right now when I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to all of you, but at the same time, there's no collective mass. Each one of you is individual. So when I'm speaking, maybe I'm speaking some point which I feel maybe addressing one of you, but then I'm also speaking to everyone else. So relationships don't exist in isolation, but to understand, seeing something in isolation is helpful, then we can get the big picture. So is Prahlad trying to provoke Hiranyakashipu? So we'll try to take one lesson from the dynamics of each of these interactions. Let's see how many we can take today of these. But what is Prahlad trying to do with Hiranyakashipu? So in the next verse or 2 verses after that, he basically says that actually Vishnu is not your enemy. Your only enemy is your uncontrolled and misguided mind, because of which you are thinking Vishnu is your enemy. So Prahlad is making a last-ditch effort to educate. Now there is educate and there is irritate. Now some people, their intention may be education, but the other person may get irritated by that. Or some people may want to irritate only. That are two different things. But what is Prahlad trying to do? God can be seen in 2 different ways. One is as the best of all beings. Best of all beings means that there are many different beings in the world and God is the best among them. So this conception is like, say there are different beings. There are humans of different degrees of power, then there are devtas of different degrees of power. And top of this is God, is Vishnu. So he is the best of all beings. Now this is the conception that many people have of God. And Hiranyakashipu has this conception. Now this conception of God is like, say, a tennis competition where there's one player is number 1. So that player is definitely number 1. But tomorrow, if some other player performs better and better and better, then that player can become number 1. So Hiranyakashipu is thinking that Vishnu is like that. That there is a hierarchy of beings and Vishnu is at the top of that. And he's thinking, one day I'll perform austerities, I'll become powerful enough and I will become stronger than Vishnu. Now the other understanding, so this is Hiranyakashipu's notion. But the understanding that Prahlad is trying to convey is that God is not just the best of all beings, He is the basis of all being. That everybody exists because of Him. So what this means is, yes, there is a hierarchy of beings, no doubt. But God does not exist in that hierarchy. Rather, God exists in a different category. And everybody in this hierarchy is actually sustained by God. That means, it is, say, somebody is the prime minister of a country today, somebody is the king of a particular state, tomorrow somebody else may become the king. But God is not one being among many beings. God is the one being who sustains all beings. He is in a different category. He's saying your power also, as well as my power, as well as Brahma's power, everybody's power is coming from God. And this understanding is vital for us to become strong and stable in our devotion. We'll talk about the Devtas and their conception of God. In fact, Hiranyakashipu has a particular conception of God, and that God is the base, just the best among all beings. And this is the conception which people also use God. Say Sachin Tendulkar is the God of cricket. Well, maybe, yeah, you can use the word God very loosely at times. But tomorrow some other player might come and that player may exceed the records of Sachin Tendulkar. So this is a very competitive understanding. So Prahlad has tried in various ways in the past to try to help his father understand. Now this is the last ditch effort that he's making. So it can seem as if he is provoking, but his purpose is not to provoke. His purpose is to educate. So going back to that particular scene. Now Hiranyakashipu is at a place where he just is not ready to understand. It's okay. You say, he takes it as a personal insult. You think my power is not my power? My power is somebody else's power? Okay, let us see. Where is your Vishnu? Where is he? I will destroy him right now. He is bursting with rage right now. He's been looking for an opportunity for a long time to establish his power over Vishnu's power. He's gone across the universe, conquering everyone, but he has not been able to find Vishnu. And he has come to the conclusion that I am not able to find Vishnu. That's because Vishnu is afraid of me. That's why Vishnu is hiding. Vishnu is not ready to come in front of me. So he says, let's settle this now, once and for all. Where is your Vishnu? You have such devotion to him. Let's find out where he is. I will fight with him. And at that time, Prahlad says, he is everywhere. He doesn't just exist at one place somewhere far away. All of existence is sustained by me. He is everywhere. Yes. Yes. He's everywhere. Where is he? When there is anger, there is an urge to express that anger in some way. Now he could have just attacked Prahlad and he could have killed him. He has tried to do that before. Not personally, but through his agents. And Prahlad has survived every time. For him, killing Prahlad could be one option. But he doesn't just want to destroy Prahlad's body. He wants to destroy Prahlad's faith. And that is why he doesn't target Prahlad. You think your Vishnu is so powerful. Let's see where your Vishnu is. Is he in this pillar? He wants to have some target for his rage. For him, the idea that any being could be everywhere, it's an absurd idea. Because the idea of God is just one being in the hierarchy. Okay, is this place, that place. How can he be everywhere? Is he here? When he challenges, he just wants to expose the ridiculousness of this kid's claim. Yes, he's there in the pillar also. And he just charges for a Khadgam Pragriya. He takes his axe and slams it against the pillar. He wants to show right here and now how wrong you are. First, I will destroy your faith. Then I will destroy you. And then, when he slams into that pillar, he is expecting it to be a demonstration of his strength and an exposure of the folly of his child. But it becomes an exposure of his own folly and a demonstration of someone else's strength. When he slams that pillar just cracks. But when the pillar cracks, it is not just the cracking of stone that sound comes. Suddenly, a roar emerges. And that roar is so loud and so deafening that nobody can bear that sound. And even Hiranyakashipu, who prides himself on his fearlessness, who is in his court wanting to demonstrate how powerful I am to everyone, even that Hiranyakashipu is so alarmed by the sheer volume and ferocity of that roar that has emerged that he closes his eyes. And then, finally, when he emerges, he opens his eyes, he sees a giant being has emerged from that pillar. And he's trying to figure out, what is this creature? Where does it come from? He has never seen anything like this. And he says, he still has a lot of confidence in his own power. He says, he might be big, but I'll deal with him. And because for him, at this point, it is his personal strength that has been challenged. So he charges forward to attack this particular being. In the Ramayana, Ravan doesn't confront Ram for a long time. Ravan sends his generals, his relatives, his sons. Finally he goes out of Lanka. Because for Ravan, getting rid of Ram is the most important thing. But for Hiranyakashipu, this is inside his court. He wants to demonstrate his power. He doesn't wait for any of his generals or assistants to attack. They are also stunned by this. It is Hiranyakashipu who first recovers. Rather than ordering anyone else to attack, he just charges forward. And seeing this, everybody just falls back and waits and watches. And if Hiranyakashipu had earlier been angry, then this particular being that has appeared, if there were an anger meter, if somebody's anger meter is 5, somebody is 10, somebody is 100, somebody is so angry that the anger meter breaks. So his anger is so unbelievably burning within him. Somebody's brows are furrowed, their eyes are red, their cheeks are turning red, and they say, "Don't ever make me angry." I said, "You mean you are not angry right now?" So, this particular being is half man and half lion. Hiranyakashipu has seen many different kinds of beings across the universe. But when he sees this being, he's trying to get a handle, get a size. He says that the head is like that of a lion, and then there's a tail, which is of a lion, and the rest of the body like that of a human being. But then the nails are there. The nails are again like that of a lion. And he's trying to figure out. He's never seen a being like this. And he thinks, as a warrior, he's trying to figure out what is the weakness. Where can I attack? And while he is charging towards that being, it's normally till now, whenever Hiranyakashipu has attacked anyone, those beings have run in fear. But here, Hiranyakashipu charges forward, and that being, he doesn't know who that being is. He soon figures out this must be Vishnu. There is no description in the Bhagavatam that he actually recognizes this being is called Narasimhadev. He says, this being is strange, but it must be Vishnu. That being just effortlessly catches him. And just catches him, and he is shocked at how easily he has been caught. Just catches him and starts crushing him. And it's as if a big fight is about to happen, and it's like a World Cup final, and in the first 2 overs, 10 wickets get out. And the match is over. So it seems to be like that. And he's just being crushed helplessly. And he starts flailing around, using his sword, trying to reach some part of this demon, to this particular being, to hurt. And just feels himself being crushed and unable to escape. And then finally, in desperation, just turns his sword around and hits it. And then that being lets him go. He says, "Oh, yes, he's not as powerful as he thinks. I'll get the better of him." And he keeps darting in and out. He's trying to hit. He's trying to find some weak point, trying to attack. And as he's trying to do this, Still, each time he comes in, he attacks and he disappears. Now again and again that being seems to be trying to catch him, but he's dodging. He's escaping. He says, yeah, he is. He's strong, he's big, but he's not very sharp. He is not very fast. I can attack. I'll get the better of him. Now, while he's thinking that he's getting the better of this particular being, that being is having an eye on the watch. Not on the watch, but on time. He's waiting. He's playing with him. Playing with him till it becomes twilight. And then, this is where Narasimhadev, he is fighting with Hiranyakashipu, who is extremely angry. But still he is aware of the benediction that Brahmaji has given to that being. He doesn't have to honor it, but he chooses to honor it. So, the very thing that Hiranyakashipu was trying to do to Prahlad, destroy his confidence, destroy his faith before destroying him. That is the very thing that Narasimhadev does to Hiranyakashipu. When the twilight comes, effortlessly Hiranyakashipu just catches him. Catches him and just drags him out. All along he's been thinking that I can outsmart this being. But then once he's caught, he realizes I can't do anything. And Hiranyakashipu drags him along, places him on his thigh. And he is helpless. For him, the realization that he has been overpowered, that he just can't do anything, that is even more painful than the actual pain of his death. Then when he is on the sill of the door in twilight, then Lord Narasimhadev, with his fierce nails, there is open heart surgery, there is open belly surgery. So open belly surgery, operation successful, patient liberated. But here, Hiranyakashipu, when in those last moments, he not only realizes that he has been overpowered, he also realizes that he has been outsmarted. That he had thought all those benedictions, all those conditions with which he had asked for those benedictions, that he had succeeded in getting immortality. Now, whenever there are any rules, people who are clever, they try to find some loophole in the rules. They try to find a loophole and try to stretch and get away. So, and people who can find some loopholes, they think I'm very clever. But the Lord is the ultimate loophole finder. So he finds this ultimate loophole. So Hiranyakashipu's defeat is total. In strength he has been overpowered, in intelligence he has been outsmarted, and then he's killed. Now when he is killed, Narasimhadev's anger still does not subside. His anger, we'll see that Lord Narasimhadev has come to the aid of Prahlad. But it's an expression of his love. And when we talk about, some people have this very sterile idea of spirituality. Sterile is the opposite of fertile. Sterile idea of spirituality is, spirituality means you feel very peaceful, you feel very calm, you feel very connected. Feel everything is everything is good. That is the idea of spirituality. Well, that is one stage in spirituality, but bhakti spirituality is about a relationship. And a rich relationship has a variety of emotions within it. And within the relationship with bhakti, there are bhakti rasamrit sindhu. There's an ocean of emotions. There is joy, there is anger, there is fear, there is anxiety, there is horror, there is comedy. All kinds of emotions are there. So here we see what is Narasimhadev's love. That love is expressed in anger. Sometimes anger is thought to be a bad thing, and anger should be controlled or given up. Well, that's true in most cases. But anger is an indication that we care. If some child is being bullied, we were talking about child protection earlier. If some child is being bullied and we are passing by a school area, and if we don't feel any emotion at that time, no, whether something is wrong outside or not, something is really wrong inside, isn't it? So anger is also a necessary and healthy expression of love. But in some relationship, anger is the only expression of love. Then all that people end up seeing is the anger and they don't see the love at all. But anger, so Narasimhadev's anger, his anger is towards Hiranyakashipu. And that is an expression of his love. And then there is his indifference. The indifference is towards the Devatas. It's, say some big person has come, say our spiritual master comes here or some senior devotee comes, and we go in front of them and we greet them, and they act as if they're not seen us only. It's like they look at us and they look through us. Not look through us in terms of looking inside us and understanding, look through us as if we don't exist. He'll say, have I offended you? What has happened? Why are you doing like this? So this is what Narasimhadev's mood is towards the Devatas. After Hiranyakashipu has been killed, the Devatas come forward and offer prayers. And the Lord pays no attention to them. He's so angry, it is as if they have not spoken any words at all. His anger doesn't seem to subside at all. And why is that? That indifference toward the Devatas is also because of their actions. He is angry that they didn't protect Prahalad, nor did they protest. That they didn't protest when Prahalad was persecuted, they didn't protect. Says, now you are praising me, but when someone who was so dear to me was in such danger, you didn't do anything. So, later on Indra will say in his prayers that till now Hiranyakashipu had filled our hearts with fear, and we were constantly thinking of him out of fear, and we were not able to do our duties to you. Now that you have killed him, now our heart can be focused on you, and now we can do our duties. So he's basically telling Narasimhadev that we were Hiranyakashipu conscious. And so this is the difference between Prahlad's devotion and the Devata's devotion. Devatas also devotees. From Prahlad's perspective, if we consider the relationship between Prahlad and Narasimhadev, his love is seen through his anger. And Prahlad's love is seen through his sacrifice. Love broadly is seen in many ways, but what we are ready to give to our beloved? If we love someone, what are we ready to give to the person whom we love? And what we are ready to give up for our beloved. So, what we are ready to give and what we are ready to give up. Somebody will say, okay, I can give you this gift, I can give you this gift, but, I cannot give up this particular habit, this particular behavior, this particular thing. Then, now Prahlad not only gave his heart to Narasimhadev, even when he was in the kingdom of Hiranyakashipu, even when Hiranyakashipu was torturing him, threatening him, trying to kill him, but he was ready to give up. He could have lived in comfort, he could have lived in luxury if he had just bowed down to Hiranyakashipu's desires. He was respectful, but there is respect for his father, but their devotion was for the Lord. So, Prahlad's love was seen by his sacrifice, his readiness to give up everything for the sake of the Lord. But his devotion is special, not just because he's ready to give up things. For us, sometimes we all face difficulties in our life. Say, maybe we are working in a company and our boss is disagreeable, and we just have to deal with it. But suppose we find out our boss is disagreeable because we are devotees, and that person has got something against devotees. Then what is happening is, it is our very devotion is the cause of our trouble. Most people go to God to get a cure for their trouble, isn't it? But if our very relationship with God becomes the cause of our trouble, then you start thinking, why am I here in this relationship at all? It is not required. Right? So, I was talking with one devotee recently. He's from a Christian background, and he became a devotee. He says he grew up in a very strict Christian family, and then he told me when he came to teenagers, he left it. I asked him, why did he leave? What happened? Why did he leave? He says, I felt God was more trouble than what he was worth. That means that I was just getting nothing out of it. I had so much trouble. This rule, do this, don't do this, do this. So for Prahlad, he could have said, this devotion to Vishnu is a lot of trouble for me. But that is the difference between the devotion of Indra. Indra was Hiranyakashipu conscious. Prahlad was always Vishnu conscious. And so for all of us, if we have problems, the problems will naturally take a part of our consciousness. But if the problem becomes the biggest reality in our consciousness, the problem becomes bigger than God. Then we feel, okay, God, you solve this problem, then maybe I'll practice devotion after that. Or if you're not going to solve this problem, then I have to solve the problem, then afterwards we'll think about your devotion. But that was Prahlad's devotion. Now, that same Narasimhadev who was indifferent toward the Devatas. Why? Because you didn't intervene. Now you are praising me. But when the person whom I loved was in trouble, you did nothing. You didn't speak a word. You didn't take any action. I don't care for your flattery now. And D was delight. The delight was towards whom? Prahlad. Yes. That same Lord was roaring in anger even after Hiranyakashipu had been killed. Finally Brahma realized that none of our prayers are working at all. So then he came forward. He said, Prahlad, you go forward. And Prahlad came forward, and Prahlad fell and bowed down to the Lord. And Narasimha was enraged. See, sometimes there is anger, but then there is no object left for the anger. Like somebody came into the boxing match is there, and in one blow the opponent is knocked out, and you still have the adrenaline. You don't know where to go to do with all the adrenaline. We need something to beat. So it was like that. And when Narasimhadev looks down and he sees Prahlad, suddenly all the anger disappears. And then that same being was roaring thunderously, starts almost like purring like a gentle mother cat. And Prahlad is like the kitten. He picks up Prahlad, blesses Prahlad by putting his hand on his head. And then he sits on the throne and puts Prahlad on the throne next to him, on his thigh, treating him just like his own child. That you may have lost your father, but I am here. That father who did not protect you, that father who was abusing you, you may not have had a father there, but I am there. And you can sit on the throne on my lap. So that delight is also, that delight of Narasimhadev shows how much his love is and how much he is pleased by just the presence of Prahlad. So when Prahlad sits down on the Lord's lap, then after that, or rather before that, there are different narratives given in different Puranas, the specific events, but the Lord raises Prahlad up, touches him on his forehead, on his head, and then Prahlad starts speaking. Now Prahlad has been able to achieve here something which none of the Devatas have been able to achieve. It is natural. See what he has said earlier to Hiranyakashipu. It's very easy to speak words of philosophy, but actually to live the philosophy is difficult. Now we can all say that, I'm your well-wisher, I want good for you. We can have empathy for others when they are in distress. I want your happiness. Now say somebody is jobless, and then we can offer them encouragement, support. But then suddenly tomorrow, they not only get a job, they get a job that is paying 3 times as much as we are being paid. Then the empathy will disappear in one moment. I want you to be happy, but not happier than me. So, it is very easy to say, we are all spiritual beings, we are all knit together. But see that Prahlad was telling Hiranyakashipu, don't have a competitive mentality, because everyone's power comes from the Lord. Don't think that anybody is your enemy. It is only the mind which is putting you in this competitive mentality that is the enemy. Now Prahlad shows through his actions that he does not have the competitive mentality. How? He could have been proud that I achieved something which none of these great devatas achieved. In fact, it's 2 things. One is he stood up to Hiranyakashipu's reign of terror when none of the devatas were ready to stand up to him. And right now, that was a long time, it is more abstract, but right now, in the court also, no one has pacified Narasimhadev, he has pacified. So clearly, he is better than all of them. Through his actions it is being shown. But the first word that he speaks is Brahmadayo Yena. So he starts with very reverentially Sattvaikatan Gatayo. He says Vachasam Pravahai. He says these great devatas, they are situated in Sattva, and they have spoken beautiful words in glorification. And Hariru Grajate, he says, I am born in a demoniac family. How can I even ever stand in their presence? How can my words be successful when their words have not been successful? So, in one sense, he's already been successful, but he's raising a question. And he says, this is not due to me. This is not my glory. This is the glory of bhakti. And he says, but I have that bhakti, he could have said. But he says, no, it's not my bhakti. Even my bhakti is a blessing from my Guru. And in this way, when he takes this humble position, in general, I'll conclude with 2 points. Most people think of things in terms of the binary. There is ego and there is humility. It's a 2-part kind of thing. That's what most people think. However, the reality is it's trilateral, not bilateral. There is ego, the opposite of ego is insecurity. And the middle of the pendulum is humility. Ego means I can do everything, I am everything. Insecurity means I can do nothing, I am nothing. Humility means I am something. Mamaiv amsho jivaloke. I am a part. I am something and I can do some things. Not everything, not nothing. So for most people, when they have this, nowadays we see a lot of people we think people have a lot of ego. Actually, far more people have insecurity than ego. And people who seem to have a lot of ego, actually their ego is simply their way, their facade for covering their insecurity. That means that when insecurity means I have no respect for myself. I am not tall enough, I am not fair enough, I am not slim enough, I am not smart enough, I am not this, I am not that. Because of that, there is so much insecurity. And when the insecurity is there, that insecurity becomes so much that people put on a mask, a facade. So the less I respect myself, the more I demand respect from others. And that is what comes off as ego. And when I don't get respect from others, it is not that that person has disrespected me. It is my own insecurity that comes up. And that's why sometimes a small disrespect, like a small snub, small neglect, small slight, sometimes people make such a huge issue out of it. And you say when a person makes a big issue out of a small disrespect, we think this person has too much ego. Actually, that person has too much insecurity. There is real pride also. I'm not talking about spiritual pride. But even from material perspective, that if somebody is very wealthy and somebody doesn't respect them for their wealth, he says, I don't really care, you don't respect me. Like there will be critics who will criticizing. The dogs may bark, Prabhupada would quote, dogs may bark, but the caravan rolls on. So the point I'm making here is that Prahlad, he has neither ego nor insecurity. No, if he had insecurity, he would never have been able to stand up to Narasimha, to Hiranyakashipu. He would not even be able to come in front of Narasimhadev and speak in that august assembly. But he does not have ego also. He's not trying to show that I am better than others. So he is saying, my dear Lord, this is the greatness of devotion. He's saying that you placed your hand on my head. This is a benediction. Navai Brahma Naviranchi Narudro Narshriya. He says, you have not given this benediction to Brahma or Shiva or even Lakshmi Devi. And you have given me this benediction. But he says, this is the mercy that you bestow on your devotees. And in this way, his whole set of prayers is not just a glorification of the Lord, it is the glorification of devotion. And how bhakti is the greatest. And thus, while the specifics of this pastime are extraordinary, the Lord coming out from a pillar and bursting out and dramatically saving, those specifics are extraordinary. They are not likely to be replicable. But the principle of devotion is universal. So for each one of us, when we are trying to practice bhakti, Prahlad is an enduring example of how to stay firm in our devotion, no matter what the challenges, what the threats. Prahlad does not unnecessarily provoke his father. He stays firm in his principles. He is not disrespecting Shanda and Amark for the sake of disrespecting them. He is not disrespecting Hiranyakashipu for the sake of disrespecting him. But he stays firm in his devotion. And the Lord's love is revealed. Now for all of us, there may not be any dramatic revelation of the Lord's love for us the way Narasimhadev appeared. But that does not mean that the Lord does not love us or that love will not be revealed. The Lord loves every one of us. Sometimes when we hear the stories of great devotees, we may think, oh, he's such a great devotee. This kind of loving reciprocation happens for him. But I am such an ordinary person. I don't have any such devotion. So, well, does this apply to me? Well, it applies to everyone. Why? Because the Lord's love, Prahlad talks about this in one prayer. He says that the Lord's love is both unconditional and conditional. I'll conclude with this point, that for us, the days like today are not just inspirations for us to strengthen our devotion, but they are also meant to be reminders of the Lord's love for the devotees. So his love is unconditional in the sense that it is universal. The Lord loves everyone. Pitaham asya jagato mata dhata pitam. Krishna says, Suhrudam sarva bhutanam. He doesn't say Suhrudam mad bhaktanam. He doesn't say Suhrudam mad shuddha bhaktanam. He's not saying that I am the well-wisher only of my pure devotees or devotees. All living beings. So there may not be any place for God in our hearts, but there is always place for us in God's heart. So there is a place for every single person in God's heart. So some of you may have heard this. God does not believe in atheists. What does that mean? Normally we would say atheists don't believe in God. Which is true, and God returns the favor. So what it means is, if we consider we have our body, we have our mind, and we have our soul. So from Krishna's perspective, our atheism is just a temporary contamination in our mind. So Krishna sees beyond that to the soul. Krishna loves everyone. So in that sense, the principle of how Narasimhadev dramatically expresses love for the Lord, for Hiranyakashipu, for Prahlad, that principle is true for each one of us also. But at the same time, it is conditional. Conditional in the sense that it depends on the condition of our heart. That it's like the sun may give light to everyone, but if I close my eyes, then no matter how bright the sun is, I won't be able to see the light of the sun. So if our heart is closed, then it's like our eyes may be closed. If our heart is closed, then we cannot perceive Krishna's love. Now what does the heart being closed mean, or how does the heart get closed? It gets closed by attachments. So we all may have our particular attachments. I want to have a house bigger than my sibling's house. I want to do this, I want to do that. And if that particular desire gets fulfilled, then we feel, oh, God is so kind to me. God loves me. So this is when our heart is closed, basically we can see God's love only through a particular filter. Only if something happens, then we say God loves me. Otherwise, that's how God's love is conditional. Doesn't mean it's conditional from His side. It's conditional from our side. Because when we are attached, we put some conditions on the expression of God's love. You need to do this, like a child who's attached to a toy. The parents don't give that toy to the child says, you don't love me only. The parents may have done 100 other things for the child. So it is conditional in the sense that our heart may have become closed because of our attachments. So if we are not able to perceive Krishna's love when we come to a temple, when we chant the holy names, then we can try to see, has our heart closed? Have we let our desires, our emotions get too fixated on any one thing or on few things? If we just open our heart means that just try to see what all are the areas in which there are good things happening in our life. What are the areas in which there are blessings in our life? Rather than just reducing everything to what our desires are. Then we'll perceive Krishna's love in our life even now. The fact that we are alive, the fact that we are healthy, the fact that we are all here, that itself indicates that the Lord's blessings are there within us. So we can't let go of our attachments immediately, but we can still open our heart. The attachment may still be there, but that attachment doesn't have to consume our heart. Okay, I still want this, but is there other things which are good in my life? We have our plans, we have our desires, but let's not hold them very tightly. Say, hold our plans lightly. Hold our Lord tightly. What endangers our devotion is when we hold our plans tightly and we hold our Lord lightly. So, if our plans are not fulfilled, we just think God doesn't care for me. But the way to open our heart is, yes, I have my plans, I have my desires, I have my attachments. I may not be able to give them up. But still, let me just look, is there something more in my life beyond this that is happening? And then we'll see so many blessings are there in our lives. And that way, we all can get that conviction to keep moving ahead in our devotional journey towards the Lord. So I'll summarize what I discussed today. Today we discussed basically the concept of love as seen through the Prahlad Narasimha pastime. And we talked about how this loving dynamism can be seen in various interactions. So through the Prahlad Hiranyakashipu interaction, we discussed that if there is love of God, then we see God not just as the best of all beings, but as what? The basis of all being. If we just think God is the best of all beings, then we may not be able to have steady love, because that competitive vision comes up. Then, from the Narasimhadev, from Narasimha's perspective, we discussed 3 characteristics of love. A was what? Anger. His anger. So love can also be expressed through anger, but love shouldn't be expressed only through anger. So anger is the expression of love. Then indifference. That indifference is not anger. He was not angry with the devatas. So it was not so much that he didn't care for the devatas. He was not pleased with the way they were dealing with. They dealt with Prahlad. They didn't protect or protest. So that coldness of a person towards someone could also be an expression of their love for someone else. So love can have many different symptoms. And D is delight. That the way he was so delighted, like when somebody sees someone and their eyes light up, their face lights up, hey, this person really must be caring for this person. So that is also, so all this is from Narasimhadev, his sign of love. And then we contrasted Prahlad with Narasimha and the Devatas with Narasimha. So Prahlad with Narasimha was, love is seen by what we are ready to give and what we are ready to give up. So if we have to give up something for the service of the Lord, if we are ready to give that up, then that is a sign of devotion. Devatas with Narasimhadev, the problem was that it was very much of a conditional devotion. Conditional devotion means that, there's no threat of Hiranyakashipu, then we'll worship you. So they were more Hiranyakashipu conscious, that was much greater than their Vishnu consciousness. So, and lastly we discussed about the Lord's love for us. So the Lord loves Prahlad, but the Lord loves all of us also. And this love is both unconditional, in the sense that He loves everyone. Even if we have no place for God in our hearts, God always has place for us in our hearts. It's unconditional. At the same time, it is also conditional. Conditional means that if our heart is closed because of attachments, then we can't perceive His love. However, we have the capacity to open our heart by seeing beyond our desires, seeing beyond our plans. So hold our plans lightly, hold our Lord tightly. Thank you very much. Shri Narsimhadev Bhagwan ki, Srila Prahlad Maharaj ki, Narsimha Chaturdashi Maha Mahotsav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Sai Gaur Premanande. Thank you very much. So just as we have the reciprocation of love between the Lord and the devotee in Narsimha Leela, we also have it in Ram Leela. This is my latest book, Living the Ramayana. It talks about how devotion can transform our life in terms of giving us the wisdom and the strength to face various difficulties when we feel alone and discouraged. As Hanuman was in Lanka, how did he face that? When Sita was abducted, now how did she remain firm in her devotion without blaming or beating herself up? When things go wrong, how we can stay firm? So like that, life lessons are there in this book. And this is a set of 366 quotes inspired by the Bhagavad Gita. So each quote is inspired by one verse from the Bhagavad Gita. What I mentioned. Hold our plans lightly, hold our Lord tightly. So if we play the devil's advocate for too long, we will become the devil's advocate before too long. So self-control is not meant for suppressing the self, it is meant for selecting what is worthy in the self. Those who can't face books, seek shelter in Facebook. So each of these is a quote inspired by one verse from the Bhagavad Gita. So if you want, these books are available. Thank you very much. Let us all pray that Narsimhadev and Prahlad and their wonderful pastimes enrich our hearts with devotion.
Do we have time for questions? Do we have time for questions?
Any questions? Does anybody have any? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the brilliant presentation. It was dramatic as well as, you explained the loving dynamism between all the characters in this pastime. So it was excellent. Thank you very much, Prabhu. So my question was, Prabhuji, in terms of any action that a conditioned soul does, we say there are three doers, right? There is a actor doer, there is a sanctioner doer, and there is a facilitator doer. My question was, is there like a share of responsibility? Can we say the sanctioner doer has the highest responsibility in any act that a conditioned soul does? And part two was that in case of Prahlad Maharaj, was that sanctioner doer the Bhagwan feature of the God who interfered in Prahlad's activities, as opposed to a conditioned soul? Is the sanctioner doer more of a Brahman form who is neutral, and it's more of a database transaction that, okay, do you deserve that particular, you have a free will, you could desire a criminal activity, but is that something, in our case it's a Brahman form who just looks at the database and is not personally involved and looking at what kind of desire are you making?
Good question. Question is a bit complicated. I'll try to simplify the question. Basically, what you're saying is that, without getting into terms of various kinds of doers, see, when some bad things happen, who is responsible? What is God's role in that? So for example, when Draupadi is being disrobed, so is Dushasana doing it? Of course Dushasana is doing it. But is God also involved in it? Now, if we say God is the cause of all causes, then is God the cause of Dushasana's actions also? Well, it's important to understand that God is the cause of all causes. He is not the cause of all effects. That means cause of all causes means that anything that has causal power in this world. Cause means something which has causal power, something which has capacity to bring some result. That causal power comes from God. But how that causal power is used, that depends on the free will of that person. So, Dushasana's power would not come without the Lord giving him that power. But how he uses that power is up to him. And for that the Lord is not considered responsible. So the Upadrashta Anumanta cha. So Anumanta means that he is the permitter. So sanctioner means, okay, he allows it to happen. Is he responsible for that? No, he has given free will. And everybody has a particular kshetra. And within that kshetra, they can do certain things. Now some people may have a large kshetra. And thus they can do a lot of damage. If I get angry or you get angry, you might just speak a few harsh words. You know, if the President of America gets angry, he can just nuke the entire country. Isn't it? They have more power at this particular point. So like that, different people have different degrees of powers. So the responsibility for bad actions rests on the person who is doing the bad actions. Now, that's from a philosophical perspective. Now, from a devotional perspective, when we are able to do something good, when somebody is seeing, when somebody else does something good for us, we see that ultimately the power to do good is coming from God. So the point is, we want to be Krishna conscious. We want to be Krishna conscious in a way that enhances our devotion. So broadly speaking, we can think of God as the cause of things, God as the cure for things, God as the comfort amid things. So for us, the most important way to be conscious is that God is the cure for everything in the world. So to be Krishna conscious in all situations means to see how does Krishna want me to serve in this situation? How does Krishna want me to act in this situation? Now, is God the cause of all situations? Maybe, maybe not, we don't know. People's free will can be the cause of things. Krishna himself went to Duryodhana with a peace proposal. So Krishna didn't want the war, but Duryodhana wanted the war. So Krishna cannot be said to be the cause of the war. Duryodhana is the cause of the war. So now, in general, when bad things happen, seeing God as the cause of those bad things is often not favorable for our devotion. And that's why it's best to look at some other intermediate cause rather than to look at that particular cause, that ultimate cause. Because the intermediate cause is also important. So when our Rath Yatra cart collapsed at one time in London, and the devotees had made a very large Rath, but they had not enlarged the wheels proportionately. The devotees said, that is Krishna displeased with us. So is it that because of our poor devotion the Rath cart collapsed? As Prabhupada replied, it is not because of your poor devotion, it is because of your poor engineering. So in general, when bad things happen, to see that God is the cause of all bad things, it is neither philosophically accurate nor is it devotionally favorable. So now there are verses which to say without that God is the supreme cause of everything. But is God the sole cause of everything? We have been given free will. Now God is the comfort amid distress. That means when distress comes, if we chant, if we come to a temple, we have Asana Kirtans, we can experience some relief, we can experience some solace. So it's a comfort amid distress. So, and ultimately, through his service, we can have, that we can get cured of all distress. So generally we don't, whether to see God in the distresses that are happening in our situation as the cause, well, it depends. Many times we don't see it that way. If somebody wants to see it and they see that this is Krishna lovingly chastising me for something, that's fine. That vision is okay. But for many places, when some terrible loss has happened in somebody's life, we can't really see that as a loving chastisement. We are seeing it as a devastating loss. And it's very difficult to see Krishna as the cause. So best to look at some intermediate cause and address that. Okay? So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Any more questions? Any more questions? Anyone? Last question. Yes. Okay. A big round of applause to His Grace Chaitanya Prabhu for a wonderful talk. I'll keep the announcement very short because the curtains are about to open and we are running late and the prasadam is waiting for you all as well. So I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all the actors and Deva Prabhu for the drama on Sunday. Please give the actors and Deva Prabhu a big round of applause. Secondly, June 16th, we are going to have Pani Hati Festival. There are going to be some pots available for decoration from this weekend. So make sure if you want to decorate pots for Pani Hati Festival, which is on the 16th of June, they will be available from this weekend. We plan to do 108 pots, so there'll be different sizes. You can purchase your own, 6-inch, 8-inch, or 10-inch. So 6 to 10-inch pots. You can even do a small one, a 4-inch one for the children. So please see us for the details. But at least pencil the date 16th of June in your diary for celebration of Pani Hati Festival. Then from June 3rd to the 7th, which is coming up very soon, is a summer camp. We have a very wonderful summer camp planned for children this year. Please register for that, and it's from 3rd to the 7th of June. It has our usual prayers and storytelling, crafts, yoga, many other things. So please, if you want to have your children sign up for the summer camp, you can see Ramakrishna Prabhu there, or you can go online and register your children for the summer camp. 3rd of June to the 7th of June. And then I think I'll leave it at that. We have yoga classes. We've introduced a weekday now. So besides Saturday mornings, we have yoga on Wednesday evenings also. We have catering and puja services available at the temple. And for our ongoing programs, please visit our Facebook page and our website. And we offer a lot of services. Our summer school and Hindi classes are coming to an end and restart after Janmashtami, which is Janmashtami this year is going to be 26th of August, and we are celebrating it 25th, 26th and 27th. It's going to be a 3-day festival this year, so more details will come in the next few days. Just keep your eyes glued to the Facebook and our webpage. I think anything else? That's all right. Okay, so we'll recite the prasadam prayers, and we'll have children and the senior people go first for the prasadam, and then the rest of us can join the line after that. Thank you so much. Chaitanya Prabhu, thank you again. Really appreciate your association and your classes. Thank you so much. Please come back soon. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Thank you. Prasadam.
Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahme Vaishnave Swarpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasuni Vajayate Sharira Vidyajay Jayendriya Daika Jive Fale Vishay Sagare Taramati Jivati Yogo Maya Sudurmati Kake Jeta Kadana Samsare Krishna Madodaya Mai Karibara Jiva Jai
स्वाप्रसादन दिलो भाई सयन अमृत पाओ श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेम दागो श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर प्रिय साधि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री श्री भगवत महाप्रसादों की
Hare Krishna. So Prabhuji is available to sign the book or the calendar if you want. You can get it from here. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
ललिता शोके गुणरमिता विशाखे राधे রাধে জয় জয় মাধব করুণা করুণময়ী করুণা ভরিতে সনক সনাতন চরিতে রাধে
জয় মাধব দইতে জয় মাধব দইতে
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
प्रभु जी यूट्यूब पे भी
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
जय जय श्री राधा माधव भगवान की, श्रीनाथ जी गोपाल की, जय निताय की, जय श्री गोपाल की, जय गुरु महाराज की, जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। जय जय श्री राधेश्याम।
हाँ